What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I'm Anthony. On today's video, we're going to be doing another honest review. This one is going to be on the Zippo Soft Yellow Flame insert. Stay tuned. Now, if you've ever stumbled on some of my videos before, if you've ever watched one of my honest reviews, you know that I do not get paid for any of these things. I buy these products with my own money. No one's like giving me a discount code or whatever to advertise for their products. As a matter of fact, the manufacturers don't even know I'm doing this thing. So when I do my honest reviews, you know that you're getting a review from somebody who saw the product they saw online, bought it with their own money, and is doing a no crap honest review from somebody who paid for it straight up. Okay, I'm not getting kickbacks or nothing. This is strictly me. And just like all my honest reviews, I make sure to do 5 pros and 5 cons. That way you know what you're getting before you buy the product. Full disclosure, I have been waiting for Zippo to make something like this for quite a while. For a long time, it was only the Vector Thunderbird that was the only option for a soft yellow flame in a Zippo case, okay? I'm a humongous fan of Zippos, so I've been waiting for that old school Zippo look that didn't use the regular lighter fluid. So when they finally came out with this, I was super excited to get my hands on it to give it a try. And that's what this review is going to be about. Somebody who really wanted this product, and I want to show you exactly what I'm running into after owning this for about 3 months. Okay, so the number one reason, the pro, why I bought this lighter in the first place was because it is a butane version of the classic lighter. The classic being the traditional Zippo that everybody has seen before, right? Everybody's seen these, you know, they know how it works. It uses lighter fluid. Hey, cool. This is a traditional Zippo. However, I've been wanting a butane version for the fact that the lighter fluid that you normally use evaporates so fast. So when you use a butane version, it's all encapsulated in this pressurized base right here. So there's no evaporation at all. So when it comes down to it, you can have this in your pocket for weeks and there's no evaporation. With this one, you can fill this thing up completely, and in the summertime in the South, you might get 4 or 5 days out of a full charge of lighter fluid. Why? Because it's evaporating in your pocket. That fluid's going to go up the wick right here, and it's going to slowly evaporate being in your pocket next to your body heat. So if you don't use this often like me, I don't smoke, I go to use it one time, put it in my pocket for a few days, go to use it again, and the fluid's already evaporated. So when it comes down to it, nickels and dimes, you're wasting a lot of money on fuel because it's just all evaporating in your pocket. Now with the butane version, guess how many times I've had to charge this in 3 months? Once. One time only, and it was empty. Put it back on a charge, and congratulations, I've been going for what, last 3 weeks without having to charge it, using this thing as I need it, and everything's good to go. Zero evaporation, so that's my number 1 pro. And that brings me on to my number 2. There's no wick. So since there's no wick, all you have to deal with is a flint. Once that flint goes, you replace the flint. Don't have to worry about replacing the wick or the cotton inside. So since you have less maintenance items, that's a good thing. Now number 3, since there is no wick and since you are no longer using lighter fluid, guess what? There isn't that lighter fluid smell. Even if you don't use it, you always get that smell associated with just opening a Zippo because of the lighter fluid. Well, if you're someone who likes to smoke cigars, you know you're not going to want to light a cigar with a Zippo lighter with lighter fluid because it's going to impart that taste. Well, since this just uses butane, you don't get that taste, or I would assume. I don't smoke, so I wouldn't know for sure. But since I'm not like actually smelling it, I would imagine that it's not being tasted as well. So yeah, you're still, if you're one of those guys who likes to smoke a lot of cigars, you're still going to want to use a match, but it's another good option because you don't get that lighter fluid smell with the butane. Okay, so number 4, longevity. Zippo says that you get about 125 strikes out of here before you have to replace the butane in it. So the fact that you get 125 strikes, the flint is good for about 2,500 strikes, means that you have a long lifespan between refills versus your standard lighter fluid version. So hey, since you get to go a long time without having to refill it, and maintenance is drastically reduced, that's a plus in my book, so that makes the pro list. And number 5, the fact that there is a 2-year warranty included in this because it is a standard Zippo product is a very good thing in my book. I love it when manufacturers are able to stand behind their product for a number of years. The fact that this thing is worth 2 years by itself is a good thing for me. It's a very good signal. It's one of those things I'm not worried about, because I've seen people, especially with some of the Thunderbirds, the earlier Thunderbirds, where they would go to light it and there would be flames coming out of here or flames coming out of here, and there'd be 3 flames. And they wouldn't stand behind the product unless you sent it back to them at your own shipping discretion, and like $5 on top of that. So I didn't like that idea, so I wanted to make sure that if I did buy a product, it had a good warranty. 2 years, that's good enough for me. Now on to everybody's favorite, the cons list. This is the stuff that you can't really find when you're looking at the website or when you're looking at the advertisements, because of course they're obviously going to tell you all the good things and they're not going to tell you any of the bad stuff. So you got to be able to read reviews, or you have to know somebody or buy it yourself to find all the bad things about it. And yeah, that's what we're going to deal with right now. So number one, the biggest problem in my book is the fact that it is not windproof, period. Okay? There's a slight breeze right now. Let's see if it even lights. It just went out. Watch. What the heck? This thing is like, it's worse than a Bic in my opinion. So when you have your standard windproof regular lighter, that thing goes, hey look, it's still lit. That's why in movies they like to throw these things, you know, trails of gasoline to blow up cars and stuff. But this one right here, even the slightest breeze puts it out. So that's my number one con. Number two, this was a big one for me, something I didn't realize it until I got a hold of it. You see how this design works? You have your, up here is where the flame comes out. Over here is the wheel that hits the, you know, the flint, it's the striker that actually creates the spark so the butane can ignite. But right here is the button. All right, this button is what you have to hold down so the butane actually flows up to obviously keep the flame going. But here's the problem, see? Number one, it's at a downward angle, so it facilitates your finger slipping off. Not to mention the fact that I have extra large hands, okay? I'm not a small guy. So when it comes down to it, lighting it like this is difficult because it keeps wanting to slip off. So if I really want to light this, I either have to put my hand off to the side like this, or use my index finger. And there's that windproof thing, got a little slight breeze. But you see what I'm saying? That downward angle is probably one of the dumbest things ever, not to mention it being literally probably what, 5 millimeters wide. That's ridiculous. So that's an issue for me, and I do not like it. Yeah, they probably could have given up some space for the wheel size, maybe even for where the flame comes out, so they could get this a little bit bigger, but that downward slope is inexcusable and I cannot stand it. Now my third con of this list is not necessarily about this lighter, but it's about butane in general. For those of you who are unaware, if it's under 32 degrees outside, butane can get kind of finicky how it lights. So this is one inherent problem if you are using butane. You got to know that the vaporization, when you press this button down, is severely like limited if it gets below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So that should be a big thing in your mind, especially if you live in a colder climate. Hey, this might not work out very well for you. You might have to stick with the traditional lighter fluid. That puts me on to number 4, the price tag. This insert, not including the lighter, but just the insert, guess how much it costs? $19.99 or $19.95. That's $20 just for this. You can buy a whole lighter from Walmart for like 16 bucks. So the fact that you're spending more on the insert versus an entire lighter with the traditional insert, I don't like that. Not to mention the fact that you have to pay for shipping as well. So I think got this thing shipped to my house from Zippo, cost me like 23 bucks, 23 or 24 bucks. So this is kind of expensive for what you get. Don't get me wrong, I love Zippo. That's why I bought this product. I wanted to make sure that it's a genuine Zippo product. That's why I didn't order from Amazon. But just one of those things where you're spending more for the insert than you are for the lighter. I view that as a con. And my final con is something that I'm probably going to get pushback on again. I've gotten pushback on almost every video I've done so far, but I don't care. I'm still going to do it. When I buy certain things, I like to buy because it's made in America or because I know where the parts are from or whatever else. My biggest thing is not necessarily buying something from overseas. My biggest thing is the whole bait and switch aspect. Now, I'm a humongous fan of buying from Made in America. There's multiple reasons for it. It's because not only am I securing money for American businesses, but I'm also keeping American jobs, okay? So when I make concessions and buy things that aren't made in America, I'm consciously knowing that when I'm going into it. Okay, I either couldn't find the product at a proper price point, or the deal was just too good to pass up. But if I'm spending extra money to get something that I think is made in America and it's not, that bothers me. That brings me on to this. This is a genuine Zippo product, okay? Zippo, it says on the front, Zippo Manufacturing Company, Bradford, Pennsylvania, okay? I've known Zippo to be an American product my whole life. This has been made in America since the 20s, maybe earlier. So everybody knows Zippo is synonymous with made in the USA. What gets me is when I pulled this thing out of the case and I looked around the backside to all these little warnings, it says this: warning, keep out of reach of children, ignite away from face and clothing, be sure flame is out after use, contains flammable gas under pressure, do not keep lit for more than 30 seconds. But right there at the bottom, it says manufactured in China to Zippo quality standards. That bothers me because I spent more money than I wanted to on a regular soft flame insert because I'm under the impression it's Zippo, meaning it's made in America. This isn't. It's not. Manufactured in China. Now keep in mind, you're probably watching this video on a Chinese-made phone. I'm not knocking China, okay? I keep getting this, question on all my other videos. Why are you knocking China? I'm not knocking China. I'm not at all. They make good stuff. But I would like to know when I go into buying a product where it's freaking made. And if I'm under the impression the company's American made and I get something that's not made in America, that bothers me. Sorry. Okay, so there you have it. That is my 5 pros and 5 cons of this particular Zippo lighter insert. Now, the real question, would I buy this again? Because again, this is a honest review, all right? This is where I'm blatantly honest about everything. I'm going to tell you point blank, this is going to be a first. No, I wouldn't buy this again. Simply because this is not the first lighter I go for. Okay, I have 3 Zippos that I use interchangeably. Okay, you have the standard wick. You have the one I just did the video on, which is the yellow flame insert, yellow soft flame insert, butane, and you have this one being the dual torch butane insert. If I had to pick one to carry with me from here on out, it would be this one, okay? The dual torch insert. Because the dual torch burns really hot, I get no evaporation, and my finger can actually press the button without slipping off and being a complete pain in the butt. Also, it's made in the United States. So, if I had to choose between the 3, I would not select this one first. And since I will not select this one first, and I've been carrying it around for 3 months for the purposes of this video, that shows you that I'm not in love with it. And if I'm not in love with it, I cannot recommend buying it for the price point. Sorry. So again, I love Zippo. I've been a humongous fan of Zippo my whole life. This one ain't it. I'll stick with the regular or the dual torch insert any day. If you like this video at all, please do me a humongous favor and give me a thumbs up. It absolutely helps out my channel, and I would very much appreciate it. Subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later, okay? Bye.